Good morning. This is from Vijayakumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics. I am taken from the next topic of environmental science in Unit 1 Ecosystem. The topic is food chain, food web and ecological pyramids. So the last class we discussed from the three category. One is a producer, consumer and the decomposer. How it act in the environmental to the form of food chain and web to the form of different pyramid structures. So first of all, what is food chain? The food chain is a eating and being in a return of an ecosystem. The transfer of food energy from the plant through in a series of organisms. So the food chain is form of, look at that, the different category of producer, consumer. The consumer we discussed in primary, secondary and tertiary. Then the last one is in a decomposers. So this three is a form of this food chain. The next one, food chain in grassland. So we discussed in this food chain to the form of different levels. For example, 1 minute. Food chain in grassland. So the flower, it starts from producer, the caterpillar, frog, snake and whale. So the different category of consumer is there, but is only one producer. So this is in a food chain in grassland. The next one is food chain in pond. Here also the same, but here the producer is more and also the consumer is more. So the main food chain in pond is in some aquatic formations and the plants also. At the same, the many of birds and other animals, they will be used in this food chain. The next one is food chain in forest. So the food chain is forest is mostly is form of many types of consumer is there and also many producer is there. So the one is in a plants, then another one is in a meats formation. So the food chain is entirely different from in the forest. The next one is types of food chain. The grazing to decomposer, and tetrace is in a dead organic matter to decomposers. The tetrace food chain is in a based on to the form of, look at that, dead leaves and woodhouse, then blackbirds. So this is detritus food chain. That means it's not a green formation. It's only for the dead formations. The next one is in a food web. The food web is an interlocking system or pattern to the form of various food chain in an ecosystem. So the different category of producer, consumer and decomposer, it's a form of interrelationship they form in food web. The biomagnetizations is a non-biodegradable material keep increasing at each trophical levels, because the decomposer is very important from form of food web, because all the consumers, they will be finally to the form of some waste. So the waste material to change from in a decomposer waste, finally we get the new types of product. Then the same, the assignment we give from this topic of food chain and food web. The last one is an ecological pyramids. So draw the flow chart of various food chain and food web. So this two we give the assignment from these topics. The next one is an introduction of ecological pyramids. So the basic we know that because we need from some food based on that producer, then primary consumer, secondary and tertiary based on that the ecological pyramid to the farming. So the basic is in a producer. The types of ecological pyramid is form of different categories. The one is in a energy based, then the number of pyramids based, then biomass based. So the pyramid of numbers is different. The energy, the biomass. So this is all the reference I prepared from this topic of food chain, food web and ecological. Thank you very much. We discuss in another one topic in next videos. Thank you.